Welcome back to another episode of Couple Goals.
Feels weird staring at the camera and not
At
like
ourselves.
this whole setup is like...
Yeah, we've done some rearranging. We've decided that we're standing up for these podcasts because we often are filming at night time and we've been getting a little bit sluggish. And last week we did our first one standing up and it turned out really great and the energy was high. So if you haven't listened to that one,
Listen.
go back and listen.
But it just feels weird talking not at you. But then when you look at you, it looks terrible for the camera.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we'll just have to go back and forth between the audience and each other.
And each other. You got a story to start?
So I just punked Lachie big time. He was most shocked.
Is a polite word.
If you're watching this on my Patreon, you can see that something about my face might look a little bit different. And I told Lachie, he's like, what have you done to your lips? I was like, I just got filler. And his jaw dropped open, was like, are you serious? Because I have gone on and on about how much like I don't like lip filler and it just like looks pretty unnatural.
I'm the biggest non-fan of lip filler.
Lachie doesn't like lip filler.
I'm not a makeup fan I reckon you look better naturally, and nothing against those who choose to do it, but it ain't my jam. I don't find it attractive. So when you did that, I was like, fuck, I don't think I can record this episode. I need to go for a walk.
But the truth is, on the weekend, we went to the APRA Awards and we got our makeup done by this like celebrity makeup artist. His name's Max Made. And he overdrew my lips and I was like, oh my God, how does he do that and make it look not ridiculous, not like a clown? So I've been practicing.
Well, let's or is that too rude to go to the polls and say, do you look like a clown or not? Should we do that?
Yeah, okay.
For those who are on Patreon, in a
Lachie thinks
safe space.
That means you think I look like a clown.
No, I'm asking the audience. I don't know where I stand on it yet.
Have I done my lip filler good or have I done my lip filler terribly? Lip liner. Have I done my lip liner ridiculous or have I done my lip liner well?
We'll let you decide. Australia
we'll
votes.
Have to post a photo too.
This will be a reel.
We'll
make it a reel.
Okay, we'll make it a reel.
See what nasty people on social media are cunts. Like a lot. There's a lot of trolls.
Cares about them?
Okay.
All right. We'll say it again for the reels. Does my lip liner look like a clown or does my lip liner look natural? And not natural, but
unnatural.
Do I look like I've had lip filler?
Can you take your mask off? Oh yeah, there you go. I was going to say your headphones off. Australia votes and whoever else is listening. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'll digest that and I'll...
Well, the good news is I can wipe it. Well, it's my body, my choice, Lachie.
No, I don't mind, but, it's also my choice to decide what I like and what I don't like.
Yeah.
So...
Well, this is just makeup, so I can, at the end of the day, it all washes off.
I'll either have nightmares tonight or I won't. That will probably be a determining factor. But anyway, what'd you get up to over the weekend?
Over the weekend...
You had a huge eyelash fallen.
Oh, can you get it? So over the weekend, I was with the rest of the Sheppard crew, and we went to Sydney because we had some promo to do around our new song Good Time. So we went to Channel 9 and had a chat with David Campbell and Sylvia Jeffries. And they're such great people and big supporters of the band.
What station was that?
Channel 9.
Channel 9.
And
I actually haven't watched it yet.
Yeah,
Here's a little preview.
They previewed the song to everyone. And
surely you guys have heard it by now.
If not, what are you doing?
Not allowed to play more than 30 seconds or we get...
Yeah, and then they asked me about all my body image stuff, which is great as well. It's always nice to...
What questions did they ask you about the body image? I haven't listened, so this will save me listening.
I can't even remember exactly what they asked me, but they just reminded audience, viewers, what I do and what it means to me and why I do it.
Because you've got a tour coming up too, don't you?
I do. I've got my first keynote speech.
You've done keynotes before though, haven't you? Or not really?
Not really.
What
like
did you
I
do
avoid it like the plague.
What did we do at this? Oh, I suppose it was a panel and stuff.
I do a lot of panels like Q&As or, I don't know, just as part of a conversation. But I've never actually done a speech.
Why do you avoid them?
I hate it. It's just so, like, standing up and speaking for 30 minutes is, like, I just can't imagine that that's very interesting for other people. Like,
what do you find?
And also, I can't memorize that, so I'm going to have to, like, read off a piece of paper.
What do you find are the differences between that and singing? Because you have to memorize your songs, don't you?
Yeah,
it's probably more important to memorize your songs than your speech.
That's easy to remember because I wrote them, and I guess you guys. I don't know. You just
chess.
I don't know.
Checkmate.
How I can remember all the songs, but that like a set, Sheppard set is an hour.
Mm.
And there's like breaks in between. I don't know. It's easy to remember songs, but to remember a whole speech, and I only got asked.
Why don't you sing your speech? Imagine
because
that.
It's half an hour.
That could
it's
be,
not one whole long song.
That could be your your point of difference. You could do each key point is like a new song and you sing it.
Oh my God.
That would be pretty interesting to watch. Like a little musical.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Body Positivity,
anyway,
the musical.
I'm really like nervous about it because it's not like a keynote speech where I can just like stand up and go through all the points and speak confidently.
Can you have a
like I literally am reading it off a piece of paper.
Can you have a screen behind you?
No, I don't think so.
I'd ask them for sure, because I always use that as like a way to cheat.
Mm. It's just not my thing. I don't want to do it.
What made you do it then?
Well, I like to do things that scare me because then it makes you get better at it, right?
That's good. I like that.
And I still don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway.
And do you think you'll do more?
See how it goes. I honestly don't think the speech is very good. Like, I think it's boring.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now just witnessed firsthand Amy Sheppard's self-doubt. She too, like many of you, I'm palming, experienced self-doubt.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll read it to you later and you can... But literally, I'm just like reading my story off a speech, which is interesting enough for some people who haven't heard it. But then, like, to fill out the other 15 minutes, I have to go into like body image and like it's such body image is really complex. So it's kind of like going into. Do you know what I mean? It's like I feel like I'm just
think
reading.
of it like. I think your story is interesting, and everyone, the people who listen to this, like every week we get off and go, "That was rat shit. That was so boring," and people still keep listening because they find it interesting.
Yeah.
Just like we listen to podcasts that...
I know, but our story can only go... Like, my story only goes for 15 minutes. So how do you fill in the rest of the time?
Well, I beg to differ.
Like, the rest of the time I'm talking about body image tips and why body image matters. You know what I mean? But it's just, like, really matter-of-factual and it's not engaging. So I've got to figure out how to make it more engaging, I think.
Well, you'll get feedback from the audience. You'll see in their face whether they go, ooh, or...
Yeah, they'll probably be like...
Yeah, but you can always change it up on the spot as well. If you feel like you're losing them, just make some shit up. That's my advice.
I'll do that because then I'll get lost in my speech and... Anyway, that's on this week.
You could even like engage the crowd, just go Q&A.
Like what?
No, I don't know. Or can anyone relate to this? And tell a quick story and then tell another story and go, can anyone relate to that? And then do Q&As and see what else happens.
Okay.
That's what I would do if I forgot shit.
Later on, we can go through it and you can give me some tips.
I'm not probably the best person to give you tips.
Well, still, I need to practice to someone, so you're going to be that person. Congratulations.
What
See,
about
you're
if
already bored and I haven't even done it.
I was going to say, what about if you did it to the camera and we release it as a Patreon special?
Oh, yeah, I could do that.
That's a good idea, Patreon. So if you're in Amy's Patreon, how do we get people to vote? Can you put a poll up? Should you do your keynote speech as like a monologue?
On Patreon.
Or we can film it and then put it in.
Yeah. Why not?
I reckon. For those who aren't lucky, I won't be at there because is it a ladies only event or a body positive?
I think so. It's more of a ladies
so
thing.
I'm excluded, so I won't be there. So there you go. Well, that's exciting for you.
Yeah. So anyway, how do we get to that?
I asked you what you got up to and you...
But I was still talking about Sydney.
Yeah, but you were talking about how the radio people asked you about your body positivity and what you did there.
Yeah, so we had a really good week. Got to sing with Jimmy Barnes as well, which is
what was
amazing.
that like?
Oh, he's a great guy. We have met him before, so we actually saw him at the APRA Awards. We also went to the APRA Awards.
I'll play a little bit of Jimmy for those who don't know who Jimmy is.
He's an Australian rock legend and a super super lovely guy.
His band before Cold Chisel was phenomenal, I believe.
Yeah. So.
Oh, did he do Working Class Man solo?
I thought that was Cold Chisel,
Chisel.
but maybe he's
Anyway.
redone it.
Yeah, I thought this was Cold Chisel, was it?
Class Man.
Oh. All right, before we get banned. But that's Jimmy.
Yeah. So it was felt like a weekend, but it was more during the week. Yeah. Anyway, did you miss me?
I did. You were gone for
4 nights. 3 nights?
5 nights. I didn't see you for 5 nights.
Yeah, what did you get up to?
Fishing. Lots of fishing. We went up to, where we go to? Mackay. And went deep sea fishing for 3 days. It was fucking awesome. If you can picture the perfect lads trip.
That was it?
That was it. We literally...
Is that all you did?
ate fish burgers, watched the footy, drank some beers, fished again, and then we went wakeboarding in the ocean yesterday. I would show you my video. It was pretty gnarly.
My only concern was you are up north, and that's where crocodiles are.
Yeah, there's a few things that you probably don't want to bite you, but here I am. I've survived. So, take the risk.
Just leave me behind. What about my risk?
Your risk was marrying me.
Oh, God, now you tell me.
Oh, you should have known. The writing was... No, I'm kidding. All right, so what's your Reddit segment this week? You've got one. I actually found one as well. Yours is quite wild. Like, I feel like every week you're getting more and more wild.
Yeah, I found a crazy story today on Reddit.
You got to... This... So can you... Just for context, if you're listening to this, we're definitely going to put a reel up about this one.
It's quite shocking.
And you got to head over to our Instagram and engage in this bad boy. Or, once again, if your name is Patreon, we'll probably post some stuff in there.
Yeah.
We could post some real crazy shit about this.
All right.
All right, carry on. Let's go.
I, 21, female, am pregnant after a threesome with my boyfriend and his best friend.
Can I ask questions now or later? Should I save it for the end?
No, save it for the end.
All right. Just like
this isn't a troll post or some fake fantasy post. I'm using a throwaway name for obvious reasons. This all occurred a month ago when I came home for a weekend from my college. So I'll just be blunt. I had a threesome with my boyfriend and his best friend. I wasn't drunk or anything. They just wanted to have sex with me together. And they're both hot, so I said, fuck it, why not?
Oh my God.
It was pretty awesome, and it basically ended with them both finishing
Jizz
me.
banging, just full on. I'm not going to say what I'm going to say, sorry. Coming off the back of a lads' weekend.
Watch yourself.
I'm
not on birth control because it messes with my hormones. I know,
fair.
I'm stupid. I always make my boyfriend pull out normally, but I guess I just got caught up in the heat of the moment. I was having so much fun. I took the plan B the next day, but I guess it didn't work because I'm pregnant. I'm certain that it wasn't. I'm certain that it was the night I got pregnant too, because I hadn't seen my boyfriend for about a month prior to the threesome. I didn't see their boyfriend for a month.
And who dives straight
she was
into
at college, so she was.
But who dives straight into a threesome?
Anyway, she says, "What the fuck do I do now? It's actually so embarrassing. Do I tell both of them? I'll probably keep the baby because I don't really want an abortion. It seems painful. And I'm about to graduate college in a few weeks. But if the baby is my boyfriend's friend, do you think he'll leave me? What will my parents think?
Well,
please,
right.
Any advice?
There's a lot of clarifying questions here.
Oh my God, that is a terrible situation.
Is that real? Like, do you feel like that's real?
Well, I don't know. Just say it is.
Let's picture this. If you just come back from a month in Europe, you hadn't seen me, would you want to dive straight into a threesome with me and my best mate, or would you prefer to just go me first?
Yeah, probably just you first, right? Or just...
So you're telling me there's a chance? Dumb and Dumber?
Bradley's thinking there's a chance.
There's Dumb and Dumber, where he's like...
No offense, Bradley.
99% no. So you're telling me there's a chance?
Oh my God.
So yeah,
That's just so. I don't know. I could never do that.
well, and okay,
Like your best friend, you'd say is Brad, right?
yeah,
And I just see Brad as like a brother.
yeah, and I would also not have a threesome with you. I could not and would not have a threesome with my wife or
Okay.
my girlfriend.
Well,
I just couldn't. And whatever.
anyway,
this is
some people are into it.
100%. But
And
this is what have we spoken about it before? Aubrey Marcus was just on Diary of a CEO. I remember when we were traveling around New Zealand and we were listening to that podcast about the open relationship where I was telling you about it. I distinctly remember being on the road talking about it. And anyway, Aubrey Marcus was in an open relationship and he's doing all these podcast episodes being like, it's amazing, I got my beautiful girlfriend at home, and then I just go bang other birds, and I was like, I think I could actually get around that. And then like 2 weeks later, it was longer than 2 weeks, but anyway, this is when we were in New Zealand, he's dropped a episode and he's like, open relationships were awesome until my wife decided to bring someone home. And he's like,
ain't that just
the story goes was he was meant to be flying out of town to LA or whatever, and his wife's or Whitney, his partner at the time, is like, just checking you'll be back tomorrow, yeah? Because she obviously didn't want to tell him directly.
Mm.
And he's like, yeah. And he's, I'll be back tomorrow. And she's like, okay, cool. So just checking like after lunch. And he's like, yep. And he started to think, why is she asking so many questions around when I'm going to be back? She never does that. And so he's like, I think she's going to have someone around. So he cancelled his flight, went to the airport.
And came home.
Came home, and one of his mates is there. And he was aware enough not to blow up at her because obviously that was their agreement. They were in an open relationship. But he's like, I ended up having to leave for the night because she was having him over. But all I could think about while she was away was the dirtiest sex dungeon stuff happening to her, like the most disgusting shit. And he's like, I was just picturing her getting plowed, and he's like, that was a moment that I realised.
Who is this guy?
An open relationship. And I was sitting there thinking, yeah, if I thought about Amy in that happening to her, fuck that.
God, this is just like stupid shit you're listening to. That guy seems like a narcissist.
It was 2014.
He is a selfish narcissist.
No, 100%. But it was when the roles, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing, I'm sharing his story. But that was the first time I was like,
But at least he was honest to admit that he couldn't handle it the other way.
Yeah.
But
and that was when I was
that's his
like,
own damn fault.
Of course it is. He knows that. He's not like he was defending his decision, but he's just like, it's not that nice because you've got to learn to deal with that. And some people can. I don't think I could, and nor do I want to test that.
Well, back to my Reddit story. So anyway, this girl is in the situation. So,
like, do you think
I can't imagine being in that situation. And
how do you reckon the lads approached that? Like, surely they must have talked about it prior.
Yeah, I mean, they were all in it together. I think she needs to sit down with. Would you sit down with a boyfriend first or both of them together? I would sit down with my boyfriend first.
Well, no.
But they're so young. These people are like 21, 25.
But if they had the threesome conversation together or whatever, you can have that conversation together. Like, clearly,
it takes three to tango.
Three to tango, man. 3-ball juggling's quite difficult. 2-ball juggling's easy. 3-ball juggling, not so easy.
Yeah, well, it takes 3 to tango, so I don't think it's fair that this girl is in the situation by herself. She's got to.
Well, yeah, there's consequences, people. Consequences for your actions.
Yeah, and why were these guys not wearing condoms? Like, what's wrong with you?
Well,
So
sometimes, to her point, when you're in the heat of the moment,
they weren't wearing condoms. She wasn't on birth control.
That's the perfect storm for pregnancy.
Problem. So they should handle it together. That's my advice.
Yeah, I was going to throw the abortion conversation into it, but America's like it's like a big thing over there.
Well, she's already said she doesn't want it. So
I thought she said she was going to keep it.
No, she doesn't want an abortion.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So she wants to keep the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a I'm glad that's not my story. That's someone
I
else's
know.
story. We can sort of talk about it and
What a
share our opinion, but pass on
horrible
it.
situation to be in.
And do you reckon the mates will remain mates?
Honestly, I don't think that is going to go well for any of them.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
What do you
Well,
think? That's what I read on Reddit.
I feel like there's just, you got to, and when you're young and dumb, I'm not calling them dumb, but I am actually.
They've done a dumb
When
thing.
I was young and dumb, I never thought about the consequences of my actions. And fortunately for me, I didn't make too many choices that left me with big headaches around what to do. Got to really be careful on how you word that. But as I'm older, the age I am now, I definitely think about all the consequences of my action.
Yeah. We don't envy
Don't be
you.
a fool. Wrap your tool.
What have you been reading on Reddit?
Yeah, well, I thought I like your Reddit train, so I got on the Reddit train. What hash Reddit thing do you go on, by the way?
Not telling.
Okay, well, I'm not going to tell you mine. But here's mine.
Keeps it a surprise, otherwise we'd see each other's stories.
Yeah, true.
And, other people
And I would have
find
said
it.
I've read it.
Yeah.
All right, well, here's my Reddit for the week. Having crushes on other people while in a happy and committed relationship.
Ooh.
Saucy. Before I read it, what do you define as a crush? Just so we're on the same page
Well,
here.
I don't know. What does it say in the...
I don't know if it says it. My boyfriend, 28 male, obviously, and I, 30 female, have been together for a little less than a year. Things have been going really well. We have open, deep conversations about a variety of things, and one such topic that came up was the attraction and crushes on other people outside of our relationship. This has been a really uncomfortable conversation for me. He said that being attracted to other people and having a crush on someone else is normal and isn't wrong as long as you don't act on it or cheat. What are you guys thinking as I'm reading? I'm finding this hard to swallow because although I understand that we will notice other attractive people, being attracted to someone else or having a crush on them seems like something that is bordering on cheating. After we went back and forth discussing different scenarios, what I most find uneasy is that he thinks having a crush on a coworker. Sorry, this is written poorly. Let me reread it in my head. Is that he thinks having a crush on a coworker, as long as he doesn't act on it, is normal. To me, it seems like this shouldn't be happening if we have a healthy and happy relationship. Upon talking about this further, we have disagreements on what the definition of crush is. I think of a crush as having certain feelings for someone, either romantic or sexual. He says it's just a fleeting attraction of something you feel when a hot person passes you by at the mall. I feel guilty for overthinking this and having multiple day discussions. He has not given me any cause for distrust. But I have also been painfully cheated on in the past, so I don't want to ignore the red flags here.
Well,
What do you reckon?
it's a big one to unpack.
Mm.
It depends, again, like what you consider a crush.
What do you consider a crush?
Like, I think it's fine to think that someone's attractive, and
I know a few guys that you think are attractive.
yeah, I mean, I'm pretty honest about it, and I tell you, but it doesn't go further than that. I'm like, yeah, they're good looking. I have a husband, and I don't really, it's like a dead end for me. And I don't have co-workers, so my co-workers are my brother and sister. So
I'd be really worried.
Like if you think someone's attractive, you don't really take that next step. You know what I mean? Like for me, you'd have to really I'd have to go out of my way to see someone that I thought was attractive again. And I think that's taking that next step is emotional cheating.
Agreed. I definitely agree. I think if you find someone attractive, like there's plenty of attractive people every day. You walk past and you go, wow, nice. But then if you pursue and people may disagree with this, but for me personally, it's like the grass is greener where you water it. and what are the attractive qualities that you're looking for, or what attractive qualities, is it just physical or visual, or are there personality traits that you're now investing in that relationship? Because if you're investing time in a relationship, obviously you could be putting that time in your relationship. So I think physically believing or looking at someone and going they're attractive, that's fine because you're not acting on it. It's just like, cool, whatever.
Yeah, and like...
But if you're pursuing it enough to...
act on it.
Like continue to build a relationship. For me, and once again, I everyone's different, but for me personally, I don't need to have like super close girlfriends. Like, you know what I mean? Like Emma's like a sister, but I don't feel the need to like hang around. I just don't have a lot in common with a lot of girls either. So for me to hang around a girl, I feel like that would be poor taste and a bad use of my, like I feel like I would be probably pursuing something. You know what I mean? That's
I think it's okay to have friends.
No,
but you have to be honest with yourself.
No,
like,
yeah.
Is this a friendship? And if you're friends with them, like, why am I not friends?
Yeah,
like,
I think that's probably where I was going with that. I'm like,
but like, if you were to have coffee with Charlene, like,
yeah, like I'm with my mates' wives or whatever, but we all hang out.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I don't.
Or like Sammy Sheehan.
Yeah, I don't feel like. Well, I don't even hang out. To be honest, I don't hang out. And
yeah, but if you were to,
it's like
I wouldn't bat an eyelid. There's just some.
But I don't think there's, to be honest, I didn't even really catch up with mates like that regularly.
But if you had a crush on them, only you know that, and
if I was pursuing it to be like,
and as you said, I think the grass is always greener on this.
Where you water
think, the grass is greener on the other side,
and it's easy to. As you're in a relationship longer, you can definitely find and experience irritations.
What are you talking about? I know, but the thought of like...
No, but then, so, if something's not working well in your relationship, which happens in every relationship, from time you got to put the work in there, but most people go, no, it's easier to just start fresh. Rather than, you know what I mean?
Work on it.
Yeah, that's my belief.
Yeah, and
so
then...
don't be fucking lazy.
Yeah, to reiterate what you were saying, I think...
Are you backing me up here?
No, I agree with you. I think that you've got to...
That's a win for me. We need a little scoreboard here, actually.
I've forgotten what I was going to say because you keep interrupting me, which is one of my annoyances. Anyway, my pet peeve this week is how you love to interrupt when I'm on a thing, when I'm on a roll. What's your pet peeve for the week?
Same as last week.
You have to come up with something new.
Well, we have to nail this goal.
We haven't really seen each other this week.
I know.
So I'll let you off.
I'm not letting you off.
My pet goal for the week is to not be on my phone when Lachie goes to sleep.
Oh, that would be amazing. That would be actually amazing. You did it you got back on your phone last night.
Yeah, because I lay there
I'm not stupid.
I lay there until I felt you twitching. I'm like, okay.
No, I'm not stupid because I can feel every flip.
I need to find my red on Reddit.
For those, I'm wearing a Whoop band and you can track everything, like everything. And it gives you data and percentages around what things impact your recovery and performance, etc. And for me, sleeping in bed with another person decreases my sleep significantly.
I should get a Whoop band myself then, because you would see I only get 6 hours sleep instead of the 8 because you wake up at 4 a.m. and then my deep sleep's broken.
No, you're in a cycle. You're getting up at 7:30. You got plenty of time.
Yeah, but between 4 and 7, it's just like a light sleep.
As it should be. The day's begun. The sun's risen. Like you should be getting ready to rumble. Anyway, that's my couple goal.
All right.
Yes. So for those who want to find Amy's Patreon easily, it's now actually on the website. And if you want to write in your stories, if you've got some wild stories like the Reddits that Amy's reading, you can head to the website as well. And I think it's under like submit your story. Pretty straightforward. You can do that there too.
It's anonymous, and we want to hear about it.
Yeah, we want to share some juicy
Have you been in a
stories.
crazy situation like some of the Red on Reddits that we've
Have you
discussed?
had a threesome?
Have you had a threesome? No judgment. It's not for us, but it is for other people. And
No, yeah, definitely.
we'd love to hear your experiences because we're never going to be able to experience that.
Living through others, eh? There was going to be something I was going to say that I'm not saying now because I don't want it out in public.
On that note,
Hooroo.
hooroo.